In this video, we are going to learn about output devices. To take the processed information out of the computer, we will be using output devices. There are different methods: soft copy, hard copy, sound control devices. Any output is taken onto the screen, then we are calling it as a soft copy. Monitor, screen, commonly used. Screen specifically used with projectors. Since display is taken visually, we are calling it as visual display unit. There are different types: cathode ray tube. This is all analog monitor. Large in size, consume more electricity. Nowadays we use LCD. Liquid crystal solution is used between polarizing material. Flat, compact, consume less electricity. The other type is LED, light emitting diode. Entire display unit is designed using tiny light emitting bulbs. We call it as LED bulbs, light emitting diodes. Better brightness, commonly used with billboards, name boards, specifically for advertising purpose, common places and road. Consume very less electricity. Key use of computer monitors. Now we should be able to explain. Now we know what is the function of monitor and everything, but this is a very simple thing, but certain times we won't be able to provide using point form. We won't be able to provide. So therefore we should be able to think according to the question, whatever the theory we learn. Actually we know this, but it is difficult for us to write it in point form. Now one key use is as a visual display, right? Monitors provide visual representation, so we can use it as a visual display. The one thing. Then we will be using text and graphics. Not only displaying text and graphics, we should be able to see text and graphic clearly. That service is provided using computer monitor. So when we are playing games, we will be using computer monitor. So there we need high refresh rates. Therefore we will be using monitors with higher resolution. Multimedia presentation, like display slides and all. It is very convenient to conduct a presentation while running slides. We can explain very clearly, audience can easily catch up. Then in the network, when computers are interconnected together, we are calling it as a network. We can use to transmit and receive messages. Industrial control, to control complex industrial system, we need to use some kind of display unit. We will be using monitor. When we are doing multitasking, running multiple windows to improve work productivity, right? So I am giving all these example then you can easily remember at least 1 or 2 more than enough, 2 or 3 more than enough. Entertainment purpose, watching movies, streaming videos. Common sizes and resolution, here we no need to memorize these sizes with resolution. Here we should be able to get the basic idea. Whenever the size increase, resolution also should be increase. For example, let's say we are drawing letter A, right? We will be drawing the 3 lines, right? Let's say 3 lines, 2 slanted and 1 horizontal will be drawing to draw A. Let's say each and every line use 3 dots, and the same A you will be drawing using 20 dots, which will be clear. With 20 dots it will be very sharp. These dots are known as pixels. So higher pixels mean higher resolution. When size increase, resolution also should be increased to provide good quality pictures. Normally like 19 to 24 inches suitable for compact setup like desktop computers and all. 27 and above ideal for multitasking, gaming or high-end graphic design. Data projector. This is slightly different from home cinema projectors. This is designed specifically to move around. We will be using most of the time as a temporary projector. Since it is used for different purposes, variety of zoom lenses and focal length choice is available. According to the requirement, we can select. Now, intended use mean according to the usage requirement. Now, let's say if it is a home theater, image quality is very important, color accuracy, brightness. Specifically used for video gaming and movie nights. Classrooms always will be handling the projector, therefore durability is must. Then brightness, connectivity features. We should be able to connect different input devices. Conference room mean first preference is for portability. We should be able to move around. Should be compatible with various devices. You should be able to integrate many other devices as well. Exhibition space mean sometimes we may come across where there won't be a smooth flat surface. Then we should be able to focus on to curved surface as well. Unconventional area means it is different from the standard area. This depending on the use. At the same time, depending on the distance also we can categorize. We no need to memorize all this, right? Very simple. Home theater mean you know what is the purpose. Classroom then always will be using, therefore durability should be there. Conference room mean will be moving around the projector, therefore portability is must. Likewise, just few can give 1 or 2 points more than enough. Projection distance. Normal throw mean support significant distance. We can focus from long distance. So in large conference rooms, we will be keeping the projector far away from the screen. Short throw means it's a less distance, just to project an image of a given size. This is ideal for small spaces. So this basic idea we should be able to understand, right? Normal throw is significant distance whenever we are focusing using long distance. Short throw is for small spaces. Ultra short throw, that is to project a large image from very close, will be using in interactive classrooms. Interactive means actively you will be involving. You will get very closer to the screen. Then we will be changing many things. So we will be actively involving. So there we will be keeping the screen with very short distance and it display large images. Then ultra short throw is used. But these names are not necessary to memorize, right? Only you should get the idea what kind of situation, what type of these projectors are available. Then the soft copies. Over mainly we are using monitor and projector screen. Then we are moving to hard copy, right? These are actually tangible computer outputs. It is taken using hard material where we can touch and feel it. The common hard copy output device will be printers. There are two kind of printers. One is impact, the other type is non-impact. Impact mean printing mechanism impact. Always there is a touch. Non-impact mean printing mechanism used without touching. Printing is done without no impact. So therefore impact printers are noisy, non-impact printers are not noisy. Same time impact printers cheaper and non-impact printers expensive. Impact printers, dot matrix is the common type. Here head or needle strike against on ink ribbon. So then output will be given using tiny dots. Noisy, head impacts against the ribbon and the quality is not that sharp. Tiny dot will be used. So commonly using for printing receipts because it is very cheaper, easy to maintain. And another special feature of dot matrix printer is we can have many copies simultaneously. We can keep carbon papers in between and we can have multiple copies. There is another dot matrix type, we are calling it as line printer. Same, it is impact, but here this print one character at a time. Line printer can print one line at a time, little faster than the dot matrix. That is the difference. Non-impact printers, there won't be any impact. therefore it is not noisy. Better quality, expensive. Example, laser printer. Now here you should be able to explain printing mechanism of laser printer. No need to memorize anything. Only thing is you should be able to draw this diagram, that's all. Only these three main components will be used. We'll be creating the image and send it to the printer, then the binary file will be created. What is the binary file? Consists 1 and 0. That is the language computer understand. So whatever the hardware device we use, always there will be a software part. The printer, always there is a software. So they will provide with the printer. So you need to install that software. That software will convert whatever the image or text we are feeding to binary files. Then using the binary file, digital signal will be generated. Now when this printer receives these digital signals, according to the signal there is a photodiode, it emits laser. Now this drum, only these three parts you need to remember, right? This drum is charged with particles. This is a rotating drum, hold electric charge. Let's say it's positively charged, it hold positively charged electric points here. Then we'll be using a toner powder. The particle consists minus charges. Now drum electrically charged, let's say it is positively charged. The toner consists negative charges, negative charge particles. Signals will be generated according to the image. Whenever it's reflect and fall onto this drum, these charges get discharged and these charges become negative charge. That means picture is drawn on this drum surface. Generated signal according to the picture, according to the signal, here the charges get discharged. The picture is drawn on drum surface. Whenever this rotate, these minus charge particles attract, plus charge particles, the toner is actually charged with plus charge particles, then this get attract to this drum surface. Picture is formed. Now we need to transfer this picture to paper. Heating mechanism is used. With the pressure rollers, pressure and the heat is applied, then this picture will be transferred to paper. Now see, you no need to memorize this process. Just if you remember binary file, laser, drum, toner, that's all. Main thing you need to remember is picture is drawn on drum surface. How? Using laser. How laser beams are created? Using digital signal. Toner powder, using those powder only final printout is taken. Only 4 main function: image creation, tone application, transfer to paper, fusing mean is actually heating mechanism. So laser printer use light, electricity and heat. Printed image is using toner powder. Very simple. Always we should be able to explain laser printer mechanism. Then there is another kind that is inkjet. Here no laser beam. No laser beam, kind of ink will be used. Black and white, then only black color is enough. It is a color, then black, cyan, magenta and yellow. So these three for the color combination. Black is for black and white printing. Here the tiny dots of this ink sprayed onto the paper. No laser, no any touching head against the ribbon. Tiny dots sprayed onto the paper to produce the image. This is the simple mechanism. Now similarly, binary signal will be generated according to the image. Then this read write head. Now here we will be using ink cartridge. Ink cartridge will be inserted here. Then this sprayed ink actually comes out from the tiny nozzle heads, microscopic nozzles. This read write head moves according to this digital signal. For example, now let's say here these are receiving signals. Let's say we are drawing a triangle here. We are drawing a triangle here. Then this head spend little time this point. Why? The triangle, the edge is very tiny. Then paper will be shifted. Then this nozzles comes to the second area and spend little time there. It moves here and here. Let's say first just a tiny point, then only this is the movement area between two lines, then it will be between these three lines, then four lines. Likewise this read write this nozzle head moves, and at the time of moving the ink will be sprayed out and the required image will be printed. So therefore you should be able to explain laser printer mechanism and the inkjet printer mechanism. So inkjet printer mechanism very simple. Ink cartridges will be used, microscopic nozzle, spray out this ink onto the paper. According to the received signal, the read write head move to create required image. Basic comparison. If we compare the speed, dot metric is the slowest, fastest is laser. Then printer cost, dot metrics very cheap, inkjet medium, laser printers are expensive. When we compare cost per copy, dot matrix very low, inkjet printer high, because we will be using ink cartridge. Compared to inkjet, a laser is cheaper. Cost per copy is cheaper. Therefore, we will be using for sharp and bulk printing. We need sharp printing output, sharp quality is needed, and bulk printing, laser printer will be suitable, mainly if it is a black and white printing. Color printing, inkjet, laser both will be used. Dot matrix rare. quality low, high, picture quality laser highest. But we need to remember the picture quality is high, but if we compare the color printing, color quality will be high in inkjet, because inkjet use ink. When multiple copies are needed, right? Then this will be used mainly for home printing, not suitable for bulk printing. High volume printing will be using laser. Now printing process: inkjet use liquid ink, laser use toner powder. Speed compared to inkjet, laser will be faster. Print quality excellent for color printing, inkjet. Sharp, laser printer quality will be sharper than the inkjet. Cost, this is actually not the printer cost, this is cost per copy. So inkjet little expensive because need to use ink cartridge. The printer may be expensive, but printing cost will be cheaper compared to inkjet. Then media handling. So media handling means the paper quality. So inkjet we need to pay extra attention here. One thing is inkjet support different kind of papers, different kind of media. At the same time, if paper quality is very poor, we can't use it with inkjet printer. Why? Spray ink onto the paper, get much. Therefore paper quality is concerned here. Laser normally use standard paper. Certain special model can use thicker stock as well. Then when you come to maintenance, since it use ink, ink can dry out. If not used regularly, ink can dry out. Laser, that issue won't be there. Now toner powder is actually more resistant to drying out. So the maintenance difficulties there with inkjet. Then we can take this comparison using another angle. Let's say we are taking advantages when we consider laser printer. Long life, right? We can continuously use. Fast printing speed. Long term non-printing effect. That means printing effect won't be changed. Continuously we can use for bulk printing. But inkjet printers, sometimes we continuously use, gives issues with print quality. Printing cost is low. Stable mechanism. Then the paper quality, we not need to consider much. Standard papers can be used. So this is actually when we focus advantages related to laser printer. Now why I am explaining this, not only for printers, anything. After you learn, you should be able to extract from what we learn and provide required answer according to the question. Advantages mean we are focusing only the advantages side. Now inkjet printer is low cost. Here we are not talking about the cost per copy, because we are talking here the advantage. We are explaining the advantage. Then what is the advantage? One is the printer is low cost, good for photo printing, color quality will be high. not cause damage to the human, because toner particle cause damage, it is not suitable. But here we are using ink, it is not harming for human body, therefore we are calling it environmental friendly, suitable for small print. Disadvantage. Now see, laser printer. Now we need to talk about the disadvantage, right? Why it is not suitable in certain situation. High investment cost, initial cost is high. Color toner cartridges expensive. We need to place 3 separate toner cartridge, like those drum rollers, we need to use 3. So therefore color printing will be expensive. Toner is harmful to humans, will cause environmental pollution, right? The powder like thing we use, it releases ozone, so therefore it is not environmental friendly. Then inkjet printer, disadvantage mean slow print speed, compared to laser it is slow. Maintenance is difficult, regular printing is needed, otherwise nozzle will be easily blocked, ink dry out. Then we need to use high quality papers, high quality requirement is there for papers. Late maintenance cause issues, right? That is very clear, right? Ink get dried out. So laser inkjet, now you should be clearly able to explain functionality, advantages, disadvantages. You should be able to compare both as well. Then thermal printer, this is very simple printer, at the same time it's very cheap. It use heat to print, specifically used for temporary receipts, ATM machine. So there it is useless to have high quality printers. So those kind of situation will be using thermal printers. Plotter is a kind of printer. Instead of printing, there will be a drawing pen, while paper rolls, using the drawing pen, the required picture will be drawn. So used by variety of professionals, product designer, architect, engineer and cartographers, specially used in computer aided design, and large sheet will be used. So in this kind of scenario, plotter will be used. 3D printer, print 3D objects, print from bottom layer to top layer, layer by layer. 3D printer use PLA material, therefore it reduce environmental impact, because petroleum based plastic won't be used, therefore it is environmental friendly and plastic pollution won't be there. The material used here is PLA, not petroleum based. That one thing we need to remember, that's a big advantage. The other thing is, most of the time these materials derived from renewable resources, that means can be recycled, therefore waste is limited. Other thing is decompose naturally, Recycling is always very, very important. If you can use with recycle, then the wastage also will be reduced. This is actually later also will be discussing. Now here the lessening the burden on the landfills means whatever, like even when we are disposing digital electronic devices, it may emit unnecessary chemicals. So these chemicals goes and mix with foil, water, air, right? Whenever it is fallen to landfills, then they are get contaminated with drinking water. Then if it is connected with the foil, it will cause effects to food industry. Likewise, you just remember water, what is the effect? If we get connected with soil, what is the effect? If harmful particles are emitted, what is the effect? It is affect the inhale system, right? Not only for 3D printers, whenever we dispose digital electronic devices, now see, we no need to memorize anything. The simple question may be prompted, why digital devices always dispose using proper methods? Specifically, the recycle method will be much better. There are organizations, they will take these unwanted digital electronic devices and they will run the recycling procedure. Now these kind of things we need to remember. For 3D printer, it is little we should understand here, not much. Just the PLA, air pollution, the environmental plastic pollution is reduced. But when we consider disposing digital devices, we need to think it might contaminated with water, air, foil. How this can affect humans and the environment? Very simple, nothing to memorize. So these kind of thing they always commonly ask. The digital devices we just dispose, no? So it is not suitable to just dispose. It can harm in these ways, right? Then wide availability of 3D printer advantages. Accessibility, wide range of users, right? Can be hobby, small business, educational, can use for many purposes because the cost is less, increase availability. So therefore the biggest advantage is accessibility. Local production, no need to set up a big area, according to the customer need can organize. So localized manufacturing is easily possible, then reducing shipping cost and lead times. Fast development, so testing can be done then and there. We no need to have a big setup. For example, traditional manufacturing, we have to have mold and everything. We can't print then and there or testing anything in bulk. We need to manufacture it and keep in bulk. Now here we want to test anything, we are not using molding or anything. Only skill is needed. Once we design, it will be fed to 3D printer. The read write head use X, Y and Z axis. It will move the head according to the instruction fed, and any kind of 3D model can be easily designed. Customization is possible, easily can customize. When it comes to very complex design, skill only important. Once the design is done properly, 3D printer will print for us. Reduce weight. Why waste is reduced? No need of large scale production. According to the situation, we will print only when needed. So therefore material wastage is reduced. Just in time manufacturing, right? Produce only when they are needed, so no need to have big storage there. Now traditional manufacturing, that is not possible. We need to store and keep. Flexibility there. Any rapid changes in traditional manufacturing can't adapt to rapid change. But here any rapid changes, just by changing the design, you can just feed it to the 3D print and print it. So you don't need to memorize all these. Why I am giving all these? Then at least you will remember 2 or 3 points easily. So again, we are not reading anything here line by line. Close your eyes, assume 3D printer is front of you. What are the things we can do with the 3D printer? All this will come to your mind. This is how we memorize, not line by line. Always assume the picture. Labor cost is reduced. Why? We no need to have any manual labors. We just send signal to 3D printer. And likewise, many advantages are there. Material waste is reduced because recycling is used. The material used is the recycling type. Tooling and jig means we can manufacture tools and jigs for custom design as well. Healthcare application possible. So therefore the wide variety of ranges available, we only need to design and send it to the printer. Just 2-3 points if you can remember, it's more than enough. Always close your eyes, assume 3D printer is front of you. What are the things you can do? Then traditional manufacturing job losses will be there. The in-house printing, then the outsourcing. Economic disruption. Why? Because it needs some retraining. Now the traditional, just we can use labors and do the job, but here we need retraining. Therefore economic disruption possible is there for short period of time. Then the intellectual property issue is there, copyright. So anyone can copy and print without user's permission, right? We don't need to take any permissions. Therefore the intellectual property law is not applied here. So these are the disadvantages. Anything advanced, disadvantages. We are not memorizing this line by line. Just you are sitting in front of the 3D printer. Then what are the advantages? What are certain disadvantages with 3D printing? Then you might forget 1 or 2 points. again you remember 3D printer is front of you, then within very short time you can grab everything. Sometimes material waste is there. Why? Printing may fail. Not like pouring into the mold, no. Suddenly it won't support the actual structure, so then that time and the labor cost is wasted. When we are using 3D printers, the one is not enough. For mass production, we need to use many 3D printers, then energy consumption will be high and ethical concerns are there. Why? Whomever having the skill, even they can print weapons, because nothing to worry about taking permission, designing molds or anything. Just they can design it and print it. Unregulated materials, another dangerous thing here, because we are just feeding plastic, no. Any kind of plastic we can just melt and get the job done. So can use various kind of materials, sometimes may be harmful materials. Therefore it is not suitable. We are calling unregulated materials. Then need skill requirement. We can't just print it. We need to provide training, because to design the model, training is needed. And most of the time post processing is done to get the desired output, and still the size limit is there, limited build size. So more than enough. If you can just keep few points, you can answer any kind of question they ask from advantages and disadvantages of using 3D printer. Then the other output is sound. Sound, we know specifically we are using speakers to get the sound out, but there are different kinds like mono, stereo, surround sound. The basic idea we should be able to explain. The mono sound uses single audio channel. Here the clarity is main matter. Public address, this is not for the entertainment. We are not using music, therefore clarity should be there. Then we will be using mono sound. When we come to entertainment, we need quality sound than clarity, so then stereo sound will be used. Surround sound is used with home theater system. Multiple speakers will be used, right? So this mono, stereo, surround, we have to have clear understanding. Then we use single speakers just to emit beeps sounds, like alarm clock, right? And buzzer, we use low quality speakers. Then control device, don't worry about this, I have just taken the image to show. Now this kind of control device not only using electricity, hydro power, that means air compression, liquid, chemicals, anything is possible. If liquid is used, we are calling hydraulic mechanism. Any form we can use. Control device give the output where we need to move certain things, can be a motor or actuator arm, anything. Now in surgeries, nano robots designed with tiny sensors, right, perform much accuracy than human. Actually surgeon only handle this, right, the surgery, but accuracy will be better than the human, because once it program according to that, it works every time according to the provided instruction, the program will run. So human can make mistakes, so those errors won't be there. So remember, nano robots with tiny sensors used for surgeries. Then we should be able to give few example output devices for game console. Haptic feedback mean it is kind of vibration. Then headphones, speakers, color changing, RGB LED, right? That means red, green, blue mix LEDs. Certain game console it is connected. Once let's say you are doing a shooting game, if we shoot properly, then this light emit. Screen, display, TV, monitor, and another thing is virtual reality headset. What is this VR headset? Once you wear this headset, you won't feel that you are staying outside the game. You feel like you are inside the game. Combination of input and output. For example, now let's say you are using a phone to speak with your friend. As an input, you will be using mic, keypad to type the number and dial. Output will be using speaker. So combining input and output together. Peripheral devices that could be used to input text by people who are unable to use a mouse and keyboard, right? There are people they feel difficulties in using mouse and the keyboard. Then what are the solution? Microphone, touch screen, trackpad, graphic tablet, and eye tracker. Camera and all we know. Eye tracker means you can move the eye. You can move the eye to input characters. Then can use eye tracker. Gesture sensor means you can use gestures as input. Monitoring people movement. For example, we always think about the camera, no? Right? Let's say they ask to provide 3 examples. We will only end up with the CCTV or camera. Social media, nowadays you can just provide your venue, location, time, everything in social media map. Whomever want to access you, they can locate your location. Transaction tracking, certain devices provided by organization, so they can track this device using that particular software. Let's say you are working from home, so then your company can track you how your device is used. Then a mobile phone network, possible to trace the location. Likewise, we should be able to give example. Actually, movements mean there are plenty integrated devices there with accelerometer, motion sensor. All will detect actually the monitor movement, not only the camera. This basic idea we have to have when answering certain questions, right? Accessibility need means devices are designed specifically for disabled people. Biggest advantage is learning experience is given even for disabled people. They can connect with the technology. Now here see, this is braille display. For blind people, the braille is actually a language, written language for blind people. Once they learn this language, they can touch and read the output. What is the output is given. So special kind of display will be used for blind people. Screen readers mean can read text aloud. So then we no need to see, we can hear. When we are inputting speech to text, we can speak, it will be converted to text. Then eye tracker, convert eye movement to keystrokes. Adaptive keyboard, once comes to the accessibility not only for the disabled people. Now here the adaptive keyboard means when people experience difficulty in moving wrist and arm, then adaptive keyboards are designed with large key, sometimes let's say partial visual issues are there, then there will be high contrast color will be used for these keyboards. Likewise, adaptive mean not for blind people, not for disabled, just some adaptation is done, make it easy to use. That you have to understand clearly here, this kind of keyboard. But for the blind mean, always you have to remember this word, braille, braille display, braille keyboard. There is another kind here, this is a braille keyboard here. They need to learn this braille language, then they can touch and feel this here, the bubbles like thing. Using this, they can input data. Another kind is there, similar to adaptive, that we are calling as ergonomic keyboards. That is designed to reduce strain on the hands, wrist, not for the disabled people. Braille printers are there specifically for blind people. Haptic feedback, vibration. The haptic feedback also kind of vibration, but it's a special kind of vibration, not only for disabled people. When we are playing high-end games, haptic feedback will be used. It is actually vibration is provided, but one thing is the normal vibration will be used with the disabled people, even without visual and sound. Using the vibration, they can get the output. But haptic feedback mean virtual reality devices utilize this haptic technology. That means you will feel like you are inside the game when you are playing a game. Now latest high-end games use haptic feedbacks. Whenever you knock while playing the game, you get the actual feeling. Right? That is the difference between standard vibration and the haptic feedback. Reading pen, like let's say here the text, tiny text, we can't read it here, then we can use reading pen. Even blind people, even people having little visual effects, difficulties, then can use reading pen. Read it aloud through earphones. Right? Now all kind of output devices explain how we write advantages, disadvantages, and you need to pay more attention for laser printer and inkjet printers and devices designed for disabled people, and these things, the main points we need to remember. Now we have covered almost all input devices and output devices. Then under peripheral, one more thing, storage media. So they are also in storage media. I mean, mainly we have to understand what kind of media is used in particular device, what are the advantages, disadvantages, that I will be explaining in detail next video. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.